Howdy, howdy, fellas. A double header today. Got a Cold Bear match on Sleeping Giant, World of Warships Legends. This was a couple days ago. I just haven't had a chance to get through this, but this is a ship. I don't know. I don't even know how I'm going to title this. I think. Oh, here's my build. I'm running Saint Louis with like a bit of a agile build. Got lip in there, whatever. Yeah, Colbert. It's got super low health. The guns are ferocious if it gets to do what it wants to do. I've got great rudder shift and maneuverability, bad detectability, because I am running rudder for a couple reasons. One, I just like keeping that rudder shift high helps it be more fun and more agile. Like you've seen, if you've seen any of my other cruiser ships, like I like running rudder when I can. This is how I've done. I haven't like done amazing in the ship, but it's fine. This is the armor. This is the like big thing about Colbert. It's wrapped in 30, except this little, it's got a poop chute. You shoot it right in there. I don't know that it matters. But it's wrapped in like armor that will bounce most battleship shells. It is super troll. I think the Colbert is one of the like most toxic ships in the game. I don't know that it's specifically overpowered, underpowered, whatever, but it's just like the way it's designed. Look, this is the problem. Is like that superstructure and these guns. Look, the guns are all light blue. The superstructure is massive. The other day, I think I've got maybe some of the clips. I'm probably not going to take the time to find them. But basically, I've been hit in the nose with HE from a Friedrich de Grosse. Yeah, that's the Tier 8 German battleship, right? Whatever. Hit in the nose with HE and it knocked my engine and my rudder. It's just like, this ship is so troll on both sides. If you take the damage, it's binary. It's similar to the problems with like the Chocolat, that like if it gets to do its thing, it's oppressive. If it doesn't get to do its thing, it's worthless. If you get dev struck, like the Citadel is massive. The armor is great, but it's got a huge superstructure. I've taken full pits from close range. You know, American 16-inch guns right in the superstructure. I've got, yeah, just the other day I think it was a Montana, 2 salvos in a row, you know, 10K. I think one was like 8.9, and the next one was like probably same. Yeah, like you can definitely hit if you're aiming up a little bit. And sure, skill issue, whatever. Like, I will be the first to admit I'm not amazing at this thing. I make mistakes, and that's also part of it. Is like this thing is on like the razor's edge because it has low health. I mean, this is 36,000 health. That's like, that's low. That's tier 7 maybe. Like, I think there are tier 6 cruisers that have that or more health. Like, this thing is low. You know, the guns are ferocious. I've had one knocked, but this is like kind of a rarity. I have had, you know, the 2 front guns I've deleted in one salvo. Yeah, there's a good chunk. Superstructure damage. Another gun out. These things get knocked out so easily. They're 10mm plating on a lot of the guns. I think if, yeah, oh, Yamato comes in. The Lucian behind me dropped me a smoke screen. The guns actually have 6.4 smoke firing penalty. I don't think I've ever checked that before, but I was surprised when they could still see me with smoke. Like, they're, you know, that's like 152mm firing penalty. So here again, oh, I think I hadn't even realized it yet. That I was like, wait a second, he can see me. Oh no, I need to finish my turn fast. And again, like this is another thing where if his reloads up and he hits me there, like the Colbert, I'm in, his shells will penetrate, and the Citadel is like half the ship. I've got another turret out, but I'm also like absolutely melting this thing. I've got 100,000 damage 5 minutes in, and I'm just like pelting this thing. And this is like why this ship, I think, is where, yeah, I think different people probably have different definitions of what does toxic mean. Is it just purely overpowered? Is it unfun to play against? Is it unfun to play? And this is like,
thank you.
It's just the delta between a poorly played Colbert or an unlucky Colbert and a well-played Colbert or a lucky Colbert is just like, is so far. If the Colbert gets to do what it wants to do, it's oppressive. Like 4,000 fires per minute, 80 bazillion damage. The AP is surprisingly good for, you know, 127. It's 127 millimeters, right? Yeah, like they're 5-inch guns. But if it doesn't get to do, if it gets hit in the nose with Conqueror HE that deletes every single forward gun and takes half its health in one salvo, if it overturns just a touch, or honestly, and this has happened to me multiple times, if a shell sneaks in the superstructure and you saw that the entire top of the Citadel is blue, like if a shell goes through the superstructure into the Citadel, which absolutely can happen, like this thing is lights out in, you know, no time. But it does have 32 millimeter, and then even the side plating, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like, you know, Yamato shell bouncing. It's the darker orange. Like this thing will bounce battleship shells. It's a light cruiser with insane DPM. To me, this is like the poster child of toxicity in World of Warships Legends. It's just, it can be a ship that can be incredibly unfun to play against, and it's a ship that can be incredibly unfun to play. And you know, for as many times as you see a Colbert get deleted, literally the first time it's spotted, you also see one just be able to do this with someone who can actually hit the shots better than I can with it. I don't play it a lot, just because it's like not really my jam. I prefer to play. I prefer AP in general, and this kind of like run and gun HE spam isn't generally that that fun for me. So I just haven't played this guy a lot. But yeah, it's just like when it gets to do its thing, it's not fun. It's not fun for the battleship that it's setting on fire a million times, and then when it gets dev struck, it's not fun for the Colbert. So, you know, I don't know. Skill issue, audience issue. I know Big... Oh gosh, I can never remember what order his name is. Big B2O. He's been playing the Colbert a lot recently from, or at least some of the videos he's posting. I know he's got Lip, that's why one of the reasons I put Lip on here. I don't know that it's really suits my playstyle. I would love to get the AP in action, but, you know, I don't know if something else is better. I was at least trying it out. It doesn't hurt because it's got so much damage output that, like, sure, if you can get it going. But even, like, in this match, I don't even get a chance to use the AP all that much, so whatever. But anyway, he's been playing it a lot. It has great success. He's definitely better at it than I am. Like, again, just to be super clear, that's not the claim I'm making, but it's like, in his hands, you can see how the ship can be so oppressive. But then, you know, how many times do you see a Colbert? And even, like, you can look at the armor on the back right here. Here, I'm just checking the range to see if I'm likely to see the destroyer if he comes around the corner. It's got, like, shell catchers all over the back. The back of that actual stern plate is flat, so it's like, if you're kiting out, you've got a lot of stuff that can catch shells. If you're kiting in, you've still got that huge superstructure. You can only get 4 guns in, really, when you're angled. So it's like half its damage output. You know, I don't know. This is a troubling ship for me. I think just in a lot of ways, it's pretty. Again, like I think. Similar to the Chokolov, I think like on average, for average captains, for average matches played, like it's probably balanced. And people keep saying like, how in the world can they buff this thing again? Like it's so oppressive. And I think that's the problem. It's like when it's played well, when it's doing well, when it gets the chance to do well, it's got spotting. It's not just getting overmatched through the nose by a Yamato or a Conqueror just like deleting all its guns. You know, it gets to bounce 16-inch shells. It gets to kite or free farm here. Oh yeah, it did. You know, rudder. Like it's so oppressive when it gets to do its thing, but then it also has 36,000 health and a Citadel that's just monstrous. And super weak guns and engine and rudder that can get knocked out from the front by HE, and it's just like, that's a problematic ship. You know, I would actually be curious what this ship would end up with if it did come back for like general use. You know, it was only available for a very relatively limited time. I think it was a while, but it was like kind of a surprise drop. Not enough time while it was out that if you didn't already have steel that you could actually pick it up, because it was like a bureau steel purchase for like 5,000 steel. You get the bureau research it. I think that's how they did it. But it wasn't available if you didn't already have at least a fair amount of that steel. You couldn't just pick it up. So I think there's a fairly limited player base that has this. Maybe better than average, but even then, like that doesn't necessarily jive with the claim that it's like only getting buffed if people that can't play it. So I don't know. I don't know the stats, and I'm not going to try to claim what that is. Oh, I've been talking too much about Colbert itself. I actually meant to speak on this match. I loved playing with this just like random Lucian and Yamato that happened to spawn with me. This one part that Lucian went to C instead of B, or sorry, instead of D with me. Maybe it would have been better for him to come this summers, but anyway, I got him no problem. So like that actually ended up being the right thing to do. And like they have just been such good teammates to play with, especially as just totally random dudes that I happen to pick up. For how many times I've had bad, frustrating, or just even not on the same page. I mean, sometimes that happens. You're just like, you guys aren't thinking the same thing, and so it ends up you're in a different spot. These guys have been like a dream to play with. You can see the rest of our team is done, and we are like full health. We got a little bit lucky just on how the red team distributed themselves, but we did, you know, clean up the other side of A, pushed right through, cleaned everything up, and this was like, wow, this match was nice. And I've racked up 200,000 damage. I've done that in a lot of ships. You know, I don't know. You know, like I've said before, I think the Wooster is, in some ways, like a lot of the same thing as Colbert, but has the radar, has a little more health.
Nice work. Good show.
Isn't as busted because it does have the 32mm nose, but it has the weaker sides, and it's like, I don't know. I just don't know that this ship is sometimes all it's cracked up to be. But it also can be. And again, like that's the problem. Like it's that the tale of two ships, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Colbert that like I don't know. I don't even know. I don't have like an answer to any of that. I think it's just kind of inherent in the ship that you put 8 incredibly powerful guns on this thing. And it's not even like it's not a glass cannon. There's so many ships, you know, like Minotaur, Neptune, Plymouth, you know, despite any problems with them specifically, like they have the drawbacks to counteract it. And maybe that's my point. Like Colbert does have drawbacks, and it's very similar to Chocolov. Like, but a lot of the drawbacks aren't necessarily evident in any given match if it gets to do its thing. Same with the Chocolov. It had bad concealment, bad regeneration on the planes. But if you're the ship that gets dev-struck by those skip bombers in the first minute of the match, none of that matters. It doesn't matter if my Colbert gets dev-struck in the match before this and the match after this. If you're the battleship with 16-inch guns that just gets farmed while none of your shots hit the superstructure, like, that's annoying. That's frustrating, and that feels bad to play into. And it alternately feels bad for the Colbert to get dev-struck in those other matches. I guess same for Shakalov if he lost all his planes, but you know what? I'd be alright with that one. Yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I've kind of had a thought on this type of video for a while of this. Yeah, I've talked to some of my friends that play the game about how, you know, what defines a toxic ship, what are the most toxic ships. There's a lot of thought, oh, yeah, look, like the Gdansk, Nox McGonagall, they're just guns out. Yeah, I think this is the classic. This is a toxic ship. It's it. This is it. So we take out the Gdansk, and with just over 200k, pretty good. And you know, again, I don't even know what the record is, but I'm sure it's ferociously high. But it's a 4K match. But these two guys, like, great teamwork. Loved playing with them. I'd do that.